Hello again, folks. Steve here. And yes, I have been away for a long time. Haven't done a video in quite a while. My excuse is anyway, that I was doing my real job and I was basically in a place that didn't have much in the way of internet out in the boonies. And now I'm finished that job, so getting back to things here again. Also, this is a test of my new BitChute account, which is, I believe, called Genie. I have to check it out. My daughter made it for me. And it is linked to this, so you can go to Genie, all one word, I believe, on BitChute and find it. Hopefully, maybe I can put a link down below here. But so I'm going to be doing more work on that Genie project for sure. Now, the topic I wanted to talk a little bit about today is right along the lines of the Genie idea, which is that, you know, it's about self-development and growth, in that we can be more in terms of our productivity and so on, and in our self-actualization and so on, than we have been. The concept is that we have this, you know, it's like an archetype. It's a way of thinking, I guess. It's just a character in terms of a way of thinking, that we have this character within us that when we can somehow get a hold of it and get its cooperation, we can be much more productive. And I call it my inner genie. And in a way, I believe genie and genius are related. Okay, we're not all geniuses. I'm no genius in terms of an actualized number level of IQ or whatever. But the point being that we all have latent talents that we can all develop, and that's kind of into skills. And that's kind of the point of the Genie project, is to encourage people to find those and to acknowledge those latent talents and develop them into what they want to be and what they want to do in life, to empower what they want to do in life. And I came across something today which I think was really helpful, because a lot of times little tidbits can fire up things within us that help to invigorate this inner genie. And I was listening to a Stefan Molyneux podcast, one of his super chats, and somebody asked about courage, and he talked about two types of courage: martial courage and intellectual courage. And the intellectual courage one was really intriguing to me, because that's, I mean, selfishly, I must say that that's one of the things that I need to really develop, is intellectual courage. And he said there's basically two ingredients to it. The first one is to know that we're right. In other words, to know that what we're talking about is accurate. It's, you know, we might not know that every little nugget is exact in this respect, that if somebody else comes along and proves to us that there's a better way to look at it, or a more correct way to look at it, or a more truthful way to look at it, we're willing to change that. But as far as we've gotten so far, this is right. My perspective is correct as far as I can see. Like, I'm looking out over the ocean, I see one ship. You know, somebody comes along and says, oh, there's a little one over there too. Okay, now I know there's two ships. But as far as I could see initially, that's true, right? So as best as we can, we know we're right. That's number one. The second one is, and this is big, this is huge, is the necessity in what we're doing. See, a lot of times things get tough. Life gets tough, right? And we can cop out. But if we know what we're doing is really powerful, really important rather, then we have that sort of a turbo boost to keep going, right? And we use the old cliched examples of, if we're, you know, we have a child and that child falls into a river or something like that. Well, we know we're right in trying to save that child. But we also know, number two, the importance of doing something. It's not a matter of debate. It's just, it's so important. It's like, I have to do this. And if I don't do this, and Molyneux was talking about how, to do with truth and honesty, with the things, the controversial topics that he talks about. He says, you know, if he skirts around and does not tell people the truths that he's finding out, or as best as he sees them, it's like he can't sleep at night. He just can't live with himself. So it becomes so important. Doing the right thing as he sees it is so incredibly important. And I noticed that, like some of you know, that I did a freedom walk a couple of years ago, 8,000 kilometers. solo backpack world record walk. And one of the things that really motivated me was the importance. I remember the importance and the training that I did up to it. What drove me was that my son almost died a few years ago because we used to go on these long bike rides and nature walks and stuff like that. And he crashed his bike once and ran his head into a boulder and almost died. And I remember saying, you know what, from now on I'm going to live my life. Because he lived, it's like I get to live again. Part of me would have died for sure if he had have died. And it was like this very important thing to do. Life is for the living. We have to live it. We have to live it true to our heart. And that became very, very clear to me. And, you know, as I embark on this Inner Genie project, I also see the importance to gravitate towards something that's really, really powerfully important. Like doing this is not just a way of earning a living. Like my job that I do from here and there, or, you know, I do a project management job or whatever, like I did, enjoy it and all, very, you know, lots of things to learn and so on. But I don't really have to do it. And that's the difference. So there's a part of me that wants to go do something else, go do something more important, go do something more valuable. And a lot of times that's part of this Inner Genie journey, this Inner Genie releasing process, is when we find that labor of love. I believe even in Think and Grow Rich, he talks about labor of love. I'm not sure if it's that book, but it's one of those prime ingredients, labor of love. And part of that is this necessity. It's almost like this yearning within us, what the religious people call a calling from God. You know, like people who become very religious, they all of a sudden have this calling. It's not a matter of, it doesn't seem like a choice anymore. It's like they have this mission. They're on a mission, boom, to do it. And that's one of the things that I'm in the process of getting clear on. And it's pretty solid because there's a lot I have to go through to have this Inner Genie project to be successful. A lot. And it's charting a new course for sure. But anyway, I wanted to talk about that intellectual courage by Stefan Molyneux. Know you're right. Know that what you're saying is right. Like, no, it's like a salesperson. If they believe in their product, they believe that their product is really the best for the deal, you know, for the money and so on, whatever, then that's a prime ingredient, right? It's the prime ingredient. The next ingredient being the necessity of doing it. It's like it's not an option anymore. It's not an option. That child has fallen in the river. I got to do whatever I can to save the child. Almost to that level, right? This is really important. And of course, there's lots of shit going on in the world, you could say right now. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. I believe part of the solution of that is to help people become more healthy. And if I was to say, if somebody was to ask me now what the Inner Genie project is, it's a healthcare project. I mean, it is encouraging people to be physically healthy. It's encouraging people to be emotionally and mentally healthy. Absolutely. Finding what they want, getting what they want in life. Steve here again, great chatting. If you like what I'm doing, please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.